going for a walk, about 2-3 miles, and we'll see how long it takes. 2:52. Probably get back by 4:20. Yeah. Yep. Just getting the word out about the legal name fraud. Everyone's still trapped in their legal doom. Registering things, renewing things, voting, paying taxes, paying bills, cashing checks, showing ID to cash checks, getting things notarized. All of it is legal fraud. So, yep. Going for a nice walk today. Got a nice bike. Waiting for the right pedals to come for it. And get a lock for it and all that. Yeah, everybody always wants to contract, but nobody ever wants to comprehend and read and share the BCCRSS. But, you know, the guy who I got the bike from, I gave him the BCCRSS, told him to read it. Feel free to contact me on Facebook if you have any questions. All you gotta do is get a Skype account. It's free. Contact Kate of Gaia. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Yeah, I got a pretty sweet laptop. The memory didn't upgrade. It was reading it, but it was unstable. So, but it's got a light up keyboard, 4 different light stages, and it's pretty sweet. Touch screen, heavy duty laptop. I still have to create a Skype and get a new YouTube going and figure out the sound issue for my screen recording. You know, when I screen record, it's to show you how things they make seem so complicated so that they can hold the authority of the creation, which is the Crown Corporation intellectual property, where they steer your car, which is your effigy, which is your dead by consent, fiction, legal name fraud. So all you gotta do is let go of it, and then you can sail away, and you won't be shipwrecked, shanghaied, pirated, or feasted upon, because it's illegal to use a legal name. You've been getting raped and pillaged by your own free will, through deception. So it actually turns out to be a good thing if you're willing to just accept. And I had a bunch of things today, you know, like I had a bunch of and the fucking yep. So yeah, they steal the bike, but I get a new one. I get a better one, a better bike, and yeah, just need some pedals on it, and we're ready to roll. It's called Botechia. It's fucking light. I think it's only like 18 pounds or something. Maybe less than 18 pounds. It feels like 14 pounds or something. It's super duper light, you know. So I would be riding it right now, but I don't have a lock, and the pedals aren't right on it. They're called egg beater. They look like an egg beater. The old way they would do big time egg beating. So anyway, Asheville is becoming just a drug haven. Ashkenazi Jew from Florida and Jersey interlace here, and there's a lot of like the Vanderbilt death cult is here, all those names, any legal name, you're guilty as the Vanderbilt. Because you're the ones that are, chaperoning basketball games and scouting, grooming. Just like teachers, here's the deal. It's illegal to use a legal name. The only way you're going to survive is if you work together with people and people stop acting all psychopathic religious. And they think that they can serve Satan, paying taxes and all that, and go to heaven. There's no in between. It's illegal to use a legal name. So what am I going to do out here? Oh, I was going to go to the fucking post office to drop off the RAM because I don't need it anymore. Everything's good to go. And so, I love the little laptop. It's so great. Once I get the Skype on it and I get it going, it's going to be so helpful. Because the other one crashes a lot and jams and stuff, and a bunch of Freemason death cult losers going around in their fucking cars and their death. Yeah, you find out that the driver's license is like a death contract and you're agreeing to serve Satan in order to survive. Like the salt caves of Babylon. Just like going into a Costco or a thing, it's a salt cave. Everything has been salted. Probably less than 1% has no salt on it. You know how that because of organic and non-GMO, people are becoming more aware. Just like today I get a post from a lady that's like, most people don't know what you're saying, but I know it's very complicated. And so, is there a way that you can explain it better or something? And I'm like, just go to katoguy.wordpress.com, here's the link. And you click it, and you contact Kate on Skype. Make sure you read everything and that you're eager, and you have a clean heart, and you stop the meat eating, and you're willing to make amends for all your wrongs. Unknowingly or knowingly, you're just, hey, I'm going to try to stop doing these things now. And you just start plucking them out one by one. So all of your 7 deadly sins, you just one by one go through. Start with whatever one is your worst one. And then once you do that, then you'll realize like that's difficult. And once you get a handle on that, then you do the rest. And then once you get back to 0 point, then you go for your virtues. Patience, you're going to need a lot of patience with how stubborn everybody is about reading the BCCRSS and accepting the truth. That it's sort of like you were declared dead, God sends out a life preserver for you, and you can choose to take that life preserver and do the work and fix everything, or you can drown. That's your choice. But either way, it's your choice. It's that God is claiming you either way, but it's your choice to live or die. Stay dead. You know, the second death and everything, you're staying dead. That's the second death. Suffer not the second death. Hear what I'm saying. It's illegal to use a legal name. Has nothing to do with me. Don't say, oh, it's easy for you to say white boy or whatever, because we're way past that. This ain't no color thing. Do you have a beating heart, blood going through? Do you have a spirit? You didn't even know that the spirit is cut off. You don't have any conception point within you. No matter what you think or believe or whatever. Theos of ink, the ink stain. So yeah, that's it. Whatever you think, you're dead. You can't create. And so then the physical tries to create in the physical and take credit for that. That's my kids. These are my kids. He died in the military. Just like in Sandman, how he's trying to get his son back. So he's trying to conjure death. But instead of getting death, he gets Morpheus. And by getting Morpheus, he gets a little bit of notoriety. But millions of people die. Because Morpheus is the god of dreams, and he keeps things in balance within your dreams. So it's like within Morpheus's own dream, he within the dream of Morpheus, he was trying to get vengeance on Constantine, right? Constantine has the eyes as little mouths, so that's like devouring. It's like taste. a lot of taste is part of the gluttony and all these things. And so he goes back. Lucien says, no, don't go back, it's dangerous. He says, I do what I want. He goes, and then while he's gone, his whole kingdom falls apart. And the only one left behind is Lucien, and then Cain and Abel, which is Gan Eden. That's your left in your right mind, right? That's your brother and sister within. And then every time, Cain always kills Abel. And there's a dragon there, and there's a dragon egg, and Morpheus has to go reclaim the energy from the dragon because he needs to find something that he originally created in order to stop the thing that he originally created, which was Constantine. And to the other nightmares, because there were 4 nightmares, Constantine gets turned into dust, right? Everyone else gets an upgrade because it's like through their sorrow, they're able to transform into a nightmare that's such a nightmare that it's a way to overcome your fear, which is your fear of death. So it's life and death. The truth can be the decider of life and death. Just like A-H, can be no chi, or it can be pronounced H-A, or A-H, which is chi. Ha. So anyway, they take these sounds, just like a little kid that's learning to read and write. They're going to try to sound it out. With the vowel shift around 1530 or 1540, they were really hardcore enforcing certain ways that you would say things. And they kept, throughout the times, you got like 12th century, 14th century, 15th, 7th, 16th, and 17th centuries. You always have a different, sometimes flipped meaning of the same sound. So you have to, most people don't look back more than 100 years. They look back with all the reiterations in this last 100 years, where Webster's, you're getting trapped in a web, the spider. So we're almost up at Haywood. It takes 12 minutes to get there. And then that puts us about halfway, because we're going to make a left up here, and we're going to go to post office, drop something off. It's prepaid. So there you go. It's not for much money. It's like $20, but you know, it's really nice out today, and I want to go for a walk, and I would be taking a bike, like I told you, but we're in the middle of, so I'm going to get rid of the other 2 bikes, really cheap, and just get the other one working really good, and just, that's it. Because it's annoying. Oh, I forgot I dropped something. There it is. Is that it? I dropped a 14 millimeter bolt last night around here. Hopefully it hasn't gone down the drain. I forgot to be looking for it around here. And we'll see. I'll go back up here a little bit further. Anyway, so if everybody was out walking and no one was out in their car and everyone was getting the word out, can you realize in following 10 Commandments how quickly things would turn into an instant utopia? You know? So easy once everything is, once you get used to not being a criminal, you'll want it to stay like that. And you'll never want to go back to the Whore of Babylon tit ever again. Okay? So I'll have to look at it on the way back. I'm not going to go much further. So, yep. You should be getting the word out around now. So that's as far as I'm going to go. I think it might have fallen off earlier, and then I will remember to keep a close eye on to the way back. It's like a $5 piece. I had a 12-point star. I need a 6-point star to tighten on the bolt. Otherwise, the thing fucking wobbles off. I think there's a trick I'm missing. Like, you have to tighten the left and the right side of the crank. Like, the crank arms go on. Some people say, like, oh, you just replace the crank arms, replace the bolts, you'll be good. But I think it's more than that. You think you need 2 wrenches, both 14 millimeter 6 hex, and then tighten at the same time in opposite directions so that it doesn't wiggle its way out. Now, the other guy said you need a new crank that goes through, because when it starts to wiggle off like that, it means the whole thing is shot. So I figure learning how to fix it and get it good. Let's see if it fell into the grate. Anyway, keep an eye out for it. Couldn't have gotten too far. Yeah, people are a bunch of fucking cocksucking rubbernecker retards going around in their death coat, and they don't want to stop. That just means they're such shitty, fucking horrible, disgraceful fucking scum of the earth retards. You know? Fucking despicable fuckwits. You know? They're like despicable fuckwits from hell. You know? It's illegal to use a legal name. All you gotta do is stop using the fucking legal name like a whore on a crack pipe. Phallic worship. So yeah, I can't find the bolt. Somebody must have picked it up. It's like a $7 bolt. Or it's called a socket. So anyway, I still got that 15-minute walk. Maybe I'll find it on the way back, maybe I won't. Somebody's gonna pick up a socket bolt like that. I don't care who you are, it's like finding a $5 bill on the ground. You're gonna pick it up. You're gonna look around, no one's looking, you're gonna pick it up. So yeah, I guess I'll scrap the other 2 bikes. And I guess I'll just scrap the other 2 and then be on my way. Just narrow it down to one nice bike. That's all. Not too nice though. I was going to get a really nice one. Can't afford it right now. Let's see if she can hold it until the 1st. Because 2 really nice bikes is smart to have. When the power grid drops and everything, you're going to want a fucking bike. Non-electric, non-gas. Those things are going to be hard to come by. If anything, you want a kinetic wheel. You want like a kinetic wheel where it charges up on its own. It's like pedal assist. And you just upgrade the wheel. So, yep. Everyone here is a fucking dead Pakistan criminal. And they try to pretend like they don't hear you when you tell them it's illegal to use the legal name. That's confirmation that you're getting the word out, and that are you going to continue getting the word out even though it's like pushing a boulder up a mountain, right? And never getting over the edge, because no one ever actually really gets it. Nobody ever actually really gets it, you know? Found a quarter on my walk today after I got the bike. I was walking it over some gravel, and I like showed it to the guy or whatever. There were some guys out there drinking coffee. I didn't tell them about the legal name fraud because I'll talk to them later if I ever see them again. I don't want to fucking... These motherfuckers look at you like you're the depraved psychopath when you tell them it's illegal to use legal names. Sometimes I'll just be like, you know, you can look in the back of my fucking shirt. You know, look at the back of my shirt. It says it right there. By your works you are known. You know? Just a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. They can't figure out the shit how to do it without a light telling them what to do, and then putting all the light up there, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, safe to walk, safe not to walk, don't get run over. The sign said green light, so the person got run over. Then fucking, you put your foot in the crosswalk, they fucking have to stop. It doesn't matter what the fucking light is. That's why the speed limit's like 25 in all these cities. There's 20 or 25. So yeah, you got a bunch of fucking retarded criminals. Starts at 16. They get their driver's license. They start their criminal activity, their false impersonation. That's when they started. So we'll get there before they close. That's all that really matters. Just get there before it closes. Get the receipt. And yeah. All I gotta do is contact the Vatican and tell them to start rounding the people up. You know how cops is like a. Imagine if they had a grow house on every street and they had an informant or something and they had that grow house on surveillance, and then they decided to get a warrant for all the houses that were all different people from the cops or from the judge. This is a bar member. He sends a warrant, and then they go in there with intent to kill because you're not paying the tribute, and then which is your licensing to do a legal dispensary and sell it to people and check IDs and pay taxes, and then they use the taxes to fund the schools, which are the criminals, also pedophiles that are trying to contract with minors when they don't even know their asshole from a hole in the ground. See? Sick fucking shit. And then, the kids, the satanic people make children's shows that are very popular. And the kids are like crackheads for it, so the parents give it to the kid so that the kid gets the fuck out of their way. Because the kid's a fucking nightmare. People say they love their kids. They don't fucking love these kids. Because if they did, they would read the BCCRSS and figure out a way and then figure out a way not to fucking keep them enslaved to the Crown Corporation where they're only the nanny. That goes by daddy and mommy. You see? So, and it's a greedy thing, like modus operandi of me. It's like a greedy thing where they shut off their spirit because they refuse to live and stand in truth. By not standing in truth, you die. You see, you're dead. You have no choice but to remain dead or stand in truth. Now, the answer should be blaringly obvious to you how simple it is, that it should always be, it's like Kate says, what part of a suicide mission don't you understand? You're in a body that's owned by Satan, and it's going to be dead one day, and the whole experience was a test of your soul to see if you could pull yourself out the muck or the mud or whatever you want to call it and brush yourself off, however many times did you have to do it to persevere and to learn what you needed to learn to overcome the sinning. First you sin into the birth certificate, you're breaking all 10 commandments, committing blasphemy. Then it's like a free-for-all on your 7 deadly sins, trying to keep them in check and going along with society where they have all these things marketed to you. They know how many kids you have registered, how many cars you have registered, how many houses you have registered. They know all this shit. So they know exactly how to manipulate you. And they can use warfare too, like 5G. They can turn up the frequency in your phone. They don't want to do too much because you'll figure shit out. They know how to do it just right. You good? People are scared. Little kids crying across the sidewalk, and the people's gonna, it's like, what the fuck? Scary world. So it's because the people driving the cars are dead and incompetent. That's why I say stop driving the car. And if you really need to and you want to show them what's up and get known in your town, cut the VINs off. It's not stolen. You can't steal it from yourself. It's that they look for the VIN with the flashlight under the window. That's why when I was doing the private traveling, I would cover all the VINs. But what's better is if you're driving is to just have everything removed and have no identifiable ID, and you ride with a couple other people that are going to act as witnesses and record with their phones while you record with your phone. And then if they try to take your phone away, then then your friends will be like, okay, well, we'll walk. We didn't know anything. We don't answer questions, and we don't know anything. And you know, you don't say anything, and you don't know anything. That's all you say. And then you tell them it's illegal to use a legal name too, and they'll probably just back off. They'll call their supervisor. Hey, you know, there's no report of a stolen car with this description, so you don't have any probable cause for a custodial arrest, which is what a traffic stop is. So what it is just like it's just like at Walmart, how they try to get you to show the ID. I mean, to show the receipt, and sometimes show an ID when you're leaving, and you're supposed to never comply with them because they're not allowed to enforce that, and they trying to do it to see if they're going to try to get a tax credit off of you showing the ID every time that you leave. So when you don't, they like lose some money. So they want to have a high corporate completion rate of your, you know, showing them. It's just another step of programming. They want to know how, because in DC it's really strict, and there's like a line. They're like, let me check your ID. Hold on, everybody stop. And they practically got a gun with them. I took the certification class, everybody. I got the gun around here. So you got the intent to kill, huh? You got the murder-minded. Fucking rent a cop with a gun, practicing legal without a license, just like a cop. What does a cop do? A cop is practicing legal without a license. It's that fucking simple. You see? He's biting on his end of his pencil, trying to think of what he's going to charge you with. It's like when they pulled me in there, obviously they just wanted to kick my ass and get it on camera. Okay, well, guess what? You know, back in the day, I would have done the free man of the land shit, and I probably would have put you in fucking jail, asshole. You see what I'm saying? Put you right in the fucking jail. But I don't seek any vengeance. Because, you know, you commit attempted murder on a living witness. You don't have any probable cause to do a stop on someone with a bike. I don't care if you beeped your horn or you had pull over or whatever. I do not answer to a death cult. Especially now knowing the truth. Before I might have been like, yes, can I help you? And they'd be like, all right, I saw you run that red light, and like park the car and get out. You got any drugs or weapons or knives that I should know about? That's another trap. Well, I got my little survival knife over here. Okay, that's over 3 inches. You're gonna go to fucking attempted, weapon charge. Don't fucking move. Back up. Coming. You're getting handcuffed and taken to jail. But they can carry a gun. They don't see that that's a hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? They don't see how that's hypocrisy. You know, like how the fucking they don't see us hypocrisy. It's like when I was in middle school and they would search me for like drugs, like weed or whatever. They never actually saw anything, but people were snitches. A lot of Jews running around, trying to take pleasure in other people's like misfortunes, you know. Just like Jason Kressel or whatever, this guy stole a bunch of jewelry, and then Brad Wilner snitched me out as if I never even had anything to do with it. And then when the judge's son got blinded in one eye, they were acting all funny around me, and then they brought up the date in question. And I actually had an alibi, and they wanted like people to actually tell them that, like, yes, does he have an alibi? Where was he on that date? Because people said that he was there, and I wasn't there. I had an alibi. Beautiful. It was so funny. But the thing that was so retarded about it was the fact that they didn't even know. They wouldn't even tell me at first what it was about, and they thought that I would just like tell them and, you know, to incriminate myself. I knew how to talk to a fucking demon, and not fall for their traps up to a point where, you know, when I had my speeding tickets and stuff, I would get court dates, continuances, red letters. I was still using the legal name because I didn't know. I didn't know it was illegal to use a legal name. Oh shit, it's illegal to use a legal name? So that's how they fucking enslaved humanity. Through a legal death cult where you think that the countries are fighting each other, but it's all infighting within a satanic, you know, greed, demon, hell world. where, as long as they get their filthy lucre, which is, their moon eye, and their fucking waif means slave, so they get their slaves. Trump's like been married like 15 times. He's paid off children that, is raped because it's like a satanic ritual. It's more than just a rape, it's a rape, but it's more than that when it's Crown Corporation higher ups like the Pope and all these type of people. They do some crazy, they do like snuff films and shit. It's very sick. And then when you know how sick it is, you're going to want to get the word out. Just make it very clear that you're not anything with those fucking monsters. And there's no vengeance. So you just get the word out. That's knowing the truth is vengeance enough as it is. Because now they're exposed for all to see. For what they really are. They're liars, swindlers, snake oil. And so we're almost at the post office. UCC, UPU. But, I need those equipment, and I'm going to return this because, I could keep it and use the resource to get something else, like fix more stuff, but because it's still like a workable thing. But I'll just stick with working on getting the word out, getting multiple ways to always get the word out, back up. Running 2 laptops is also fun. And like 2 phones, 2 laptops. You can kind of be all over the world with that. And because you don't want to let them overheat. Like each one, you kind of cycle through them. Because, if you tweet too much from one account, they'll flag it. They don't want you to fucking get the word out. So, I had before, I think around now, I'm pretty set in my ways. They know now not to play with me because I know what is going on now, and I have authority to get the word out, with the upgrades. Every time you figure something out, come up with an original thought, come up with a new phonics breakdown, or like right now on the other YouTube channel, it's got 2 strikes. It's gotten 3 strikes before, but they actually returned that account pretty quick. So there are a lot of smoke and mirrors, So good thing about walking is we can cut right over through here. So yeah, I'm really happy about my bike I got from the guy. He's real nice. I think he's going to read the BCCRSS. Hopefully he contacts me or the crew or somebody. So I'll just be like, yeah, keep reading it. Complicated, huh? I told him, I said, hey, you read that and you understand what's going on here with the legal name fraud, and you read that BCCRSS, because it's the compression of all the essays, but you still need to read all the essays. You'll be the smartest person in the world. You'll be able to, no one can tell you anything. You know the answer to everything.